Sometimes baseball becomes dodgeball. Players have complained about batters getting hit by bad pitches, and it's gotten quite a bit of attention in sports media. The number of hits by bad pitches is getting higher by the game and the threat to the lives and careers of players. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to have a look at the top 20 baseball players who got hit by bad pitches. So without any further delay, let's get started. And I must warn you, you might see some graphic content, so watch at your own risk. But before that, make sure to subscribe to us for more videos and tap the bell icon to get notified with every new video from us. So let's dive into the video. Number 1. Ray Chapman. The Ray Chapman incident was one of the most tragic moments in baseball history, as he passed away after he was hit in the head by a bad pitch. It was back in 1920, on the day of August 16th, when Chapman stepped to the plate against Carl Mays of the New York Yankees and was unable to locate the submarine pitch. He never saw it coming, and Chapman did not even move out of the way. The pitch took his life. Number 2. Adam Greenberg. Greenberg stepped up to the plate against Florida Marlins pitcher Valerio de los Santos. The very first pitch Santos threw was a fastball, and it ended up hitting Greenberg in the helmet. He was visibly dazed and ended up suffering a concussion. After the incident, Greenberg had issues with vertigo that prevented him from playing well. Number 3. Mike Piazza. The rivalry between the New York Mets and the New York Yankees was always intense, but things got a bit more intense during the 2000 season. Mike Piazza was batting against Roger Clemens at Yankee Stadium when he was hit in the head by a fastball. Piazza immediately went down and suffered a concussion that caused him to miss the All-Star game that season. Tensions would get even higher in the postseason when the two teams faced off in the World Series. Number 4. Tony Conigliaro. Conigliaro, a star for the Boston Red Sox, had an outstanding first half of the year in 1967 and was selected to represent the American League in the All-Star game. In a game against the California Angels that season, Conigliaro was hit in the face by a pitch from Jack Hamilton. The pitch caused him to fracture his cheekbone and caused major damage to his left eye. He consequently missed the rest of the season and sat out all of the 1968 season. He was eventually forced to retire because of his injury. Number 5. Kirby Puckett. Kirby Puckett was an absolute superstar for the Minnesota Twins and helped lead them to 2 World Series titles while he was on their roster. Unfortunately, Puckett's career was cut short in 1995 while he was at the peak of his success. A Dennis Martinez fastball hit Puckett in the face, broke his jaw and caused vision problems that made him cut his career short. Number 6. Pete Reiser. Pete Reiser went all out on every play, and this style of play led the 3-time All-Star to have a number of injuries in a short career. One of Reiser's worst injuries was actually caused by Ike Pearson of the Philadelphia Phillies. After being hit by a pitch from Pearson, Reiser went to the hospital and had to fight for his life. When Reiser returned, his career would not last too long because he struggled to stay on the field. Number 7. Sammy Sosa. Power hitters usually see pitches that are up and in if they have embarrassed a pitcher in the past. Sammy Sosa saw a number of high fastballs during his career. Sosa took hard fastballs to the head twice in his career. A 2003 pitch by Solomon Torres cracked Sosa's helmet. He was hit by the pitch so hard that it knocked his helmet off of his head. Number 8. Edgar Gonzalez. It took Edgar Gonzalez until the age of 30 to reach the major leagues. It's immediate for some players, but some players take a lot of time to reach the major leagues. During a game against the Colorado Rockies on July 18, 2009, Gonzalez was hit with a Jason Hamill fastball. He was on the ground for a few minutes after being hit and was eventually taken to a hospital for further checkup. Number 9. Ricky Weeks. Laying down a bunt is not as easy as it looks. Ricky Weeks found this out in 2009. As he went to lay down a bunt, Weeks caught an Edinson Volquez fastball square in the face. He was lying on the ground for a few minutes, but Weeks was able to get up and walk off the injury. Number 10. David Wright. David Wright has been the face of the New York Mets for a number of years. In 2009, he had a scary moment where his face was almost hurt. While facing Matt Cain at Citi Field, Wright took a fastball to the helmet. He was lying on the ground and was dazed once he stood up. Wright left the stadium in an ambulance and was diagnosed with a concussion. Number 11. Dickie Thon. Dickie Thon was starting to turn into a very solid player for the Houston Astros by the 1984 season. Just 5 games into the 1984 season, Thon was hit in the face by a Mike Torres fastball. As a result of this, Thon broke his orbital bone and was partially blinded. Even though Thon did return to the majors the following season, he was never the same player. Number 12. Kevin Pillar. On May 17, 2021, Kevin Pillar was hit in the face by a 94 mph pitch by Atlanta Braves pitcher Jacob Webb. Kevin was hit so severely by the pitch that he immediately fell on the ground and blood started to pour down his face. Exactly 2 weeks later, after undergoing facial surgery to repair multiple nose fractures, he was back with the Mets. There hadn't been a way to recreate a game setting, and Pillar felt he didn't need to go on a rehab assignment. Number 13. David Wright. David Wright was hit in the head by a pitch from Brewers starting pitcher Johnny Helweg in the bottom of the third inning of a game against Milwaukee. Wright ducked in an attempt to get out of the way of the inside pitch, which still drilled him off the helmet. He went down initially, but quickly got up to one knee and then stood up before being removed from the game. The good thing is that Wright left the field under his own power and appeared to be fine once he made it back to the dugout. Number 14. Joey Votto. On April 16, 2022, Joey Votto got hit by a bad pitch by Tyler Anderson. The pitch knocked Joey's helmet off of his head and he fell on the ground but immediately popped up from the dirt. That was a sigh of relief to any injury concerns, but he had a few words for pitcher Tyler Anderson on his walk to first base. Number 15. Evan Longoria. On June 14, 2018, Longoria was hit by a pitch on his left hand and left the game. Soon after, it was revealed that there was a fractured fifth metacarpal in his left hand. He later faced a surgery which kept him out for 6 to 8 weeks. Number 16. Robinson Chirinos. On the 2nd of June 2015, Robinson Chirinos was hit in the right hand on a Jeff Samardzija pitch in the first inning, forcing him to leave later in the ballgame. Though, fortunately, his X-ray reports were good and nothing was too serious about his injury. Number 17. Matt Carpenter. St. Louis Cardinals first baseman Matt Carpenter was removed from Wednesday's game back in 2018, against the Washington Nationals after he was hit by a pitch on the right hand. According to the team, X-rays on Carpenter's hand came back negative, and he was removed just for precautionary reasons. Number 18. George Springer. George Springer gets hit by a pitch leading off the top of the first inning, and is forced to leave the game. He was seen leaving the pitch all by himself without any assistance, so nothing too serious about his injury in the news. Number 19. Eugenio Suarez. Eugenio Suarez got hit by a pitch on his leg back in August 2014. Very unlikely, but he didn't even leave the game. His trainer came to have a look at his condition and he seemed fine. He continued to play the match. Number 20. Mike Zunino. In June of 2017, Mike Zunino took a pitch from Irvin Santana off his arm and was quite frustrated, but trotted down to first base in the top of the fifth. Fortunately, nothing too serious about this injury was reported. So, that's it for today. Let's hope these injuries get less in number in the future. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press that bell icon so you don't miss out on any future updates. See you in the next video.